spoken until 5 minutes before the series. Well, for low expectations, a win is always nice, for sure, regardless of the team you're playing. Okay, let's see. Senza, Yuki, and KC. So what is that? Is that Zyrek's name? So that's Zyrek. So we find out next week if we are real, if we're real, because we had to go back to starting roster. Had some complications this week. All good. All good. Yeah. I mean, again, these 4 weeks, if you want to count as preseason as such, right, they only determine seeding, which at the end of the day, if you're confident in your team. Okay. I think that's everyone. Let me ask. And if I get both teams ready, I will do a go, go, go. Although it looks like we're one short. I don't know. I thought we had one earlier. Maybe not. Looks like we have all the New York guys here. Maybe missing TJ, looks like. 1 second. Casey shoving his mouth. All good. I love our potential. We'll see if we could reach it. Of course, of course. I don't think any team in this league should be underestimated. You know, I would be the first one to say that, you know, losing myself to a Houston team. But that's that won't impact my casting here today. That's just my own attempt to bring my team to, you know, playoffs in this league. Other than that, though, I mean, as, you know, these two teams are in my division, but, you know, I'm just looking for a good game. All right. Tired of waiting. Although, I don't know if I saw for both teams. Looks like we're going to get a go, 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 and we're going to get started here. Makes my job easier. Appreciate, once again, Prescient, my amazing official. Let's get it underway. Week 3, New York versus Seattle. Yuki going to start us off the ceiling with the reset. Can he get there? Oni matches him. Aurora gets it past Zyrek on the aerial. Casey putting it in. Looks to follow this one up. Oni does get the boost. It's an awkward 50 towards net. And as long of a pregame as we had, these boys look to get to the action quick. New York on the board early, 1-0. Awkward 50 to the corner. Oni wasn't ready for it. Senza definitely not ready for it. And that's going to be a 1-0 game. Only 16 seconds in, so if you had that on your parlay, good for you. Otherwise, we're going to get underway here. Senza gets a 50 pass. Another awkward bounce. Casey can't quite read this one. Oni's there. Looks to put it central for his team. Almost pinches it in himself. Can't quite get the angle. Yuki over the top. Looks to get past one. Can. Aurora meets him up there. Aurora goes for net. Can't quite get there. Casey steers him clear out of the zone. Senza with an awkward touch. Oni looks to put it back in, although Zyrek gets a big bang out. Aurora catching it. Going over the top. Gets past two. Going to see if Casey can keep this offensive pressure for the New York Knights, as Oni's able to get them out of it. Although right back into the deep end. Aurora goes up for the save. Awkward touch. Gets the double off the corner. The Krabby Patty Mobile in full effect today. You couldn't pay me $100 to use this card, but it looks like he's using it for free. Casey puts it off the backboard for Yuki. Can't quite get the shot he wants. This will be controlled in the corner with a nice bump here to clear up the space. Zarek dumping it back into the corner. Looks to get a bump. Looks to create a lane. There's just no lane open. And all that congestion leads to Aurora taking this one out himself. Yuki with the easy save on that. And New York will regroup. Gets a demo. Puts it to the corner. Aurora's there again. It seems like his name's coming up a lot. Is he the player you look at to be around this series? Although Zyrek goes for goal. KC puts it just wide. Still not out of danger yet, but Aurora once again looks to field this. Yuki just has no respect for it. Looks to dunk him. Zyrek. I'll call him Zyrek, and if he scores a goal, he could get a Don Quavius Higglebottom out of me. How about that? As Yuki goes over the top, both missing. It's kind of a bouncing ball here. Oni goes for the double, can't quite get on that. Casey with the shot. That's a wide open net. As I'm distracted by the names, Casey's not distracted by this Seattle push. And he just clears it out long. No one ready for it. Bit of an overcommit, if you will. And with just over 2 minutes in, a 2-0 lead for the New York Knights. A little bit of an awkward kickoff strat here. Yuki maybe looking to find in front of him. Instead finds himself behind the play. Looks to make it work. Oni's under with the 50, but it's just going to be an awkward bounce. Can Aurora read this? Casey gets the better of him here. Casey looking to push the issue even further. Senza looks to get another 50. Yuki gets it. It's a bit of a congestion here. New York needs to be careful of a long bang. Oni puts in open space. Maybe Aurora pushes this one a bit further. Elects not to take the boost. Elects to try to get a pass to his teammate. Can't quite get the touch, but gets a touch too late. And this could be bad. Senza, all alone, makes the good last man stand challenge to keep this a 2-0 game. Oni looking to make it a 2-1 game, but can't quite get the angle. Oni cuts this one back in. Looks for maybe a solo play. Doesn't quite have the boost. Does get the reset over 1. Can't get it past 2. Yuki takes this one out himself. And the New York Knights are back on the offensive unless Seattle gets a quick boom. Leaks out middle. This could be dangerous. Senza thinks otherwise. Gets it clear. Goes for the reset. Over 1. Aurora fields this cleanly. Not too cleanly as Casey's waiting there, just prowling on the chance. Yuki maybe looking to put this one mid. Gets beat by Oni. Zyrek there to meet him on the challenge. Senza pushing this one deep. Casey off the wall. And the Seattle offense just, frankly, hasn't gotten their chances yet. And, you know, you wonder if this is going to continue throughout the rest of the series. But right now, it is New York's in the driver's seat for the duration of this one. Oni gets a challenge, looks to change the narrative, can't quite get there, though Aurora's there to feel this one into the corner. Senza goes for goal. Yuki confidently saves that one off the goal line, although they're not out of the woods just yet. Aurora putting it back into the corner, gets the double. Maybe didn't want that extra touch. Maybe wanted that one to leak out middle. Instead, it's Oni with the back pass. Doesn't quite work out as cleanly as he may have intended. Yuki might have a shot on net here. Oni fields this one to the corner, out of danger. With a minute left, hemmed in your own zone like this, you got to get down the field. Aurora looks to do just that, taking a touch, going down the field with the Krabby Patty Wagon Mobile. Yuki can't quite get the second. I think he was looking for it off this touch. And this is just going to be a bouncing ball. Senza looks to force a 50. 40 seconds left here. If you're, you know, you got to push on the gas here if you're the Seattle Sonics. And look at that. Senza gives them an inch. Can they take the rest of the mile? Placing it top corner. No one quite ready for it. Casey can't quite extend out there. If he had the Proteus, maybe the arms could have gotten out there, but instead it's a 2-1 game. Senza looks to delay a kickoff. Casey reads it. Puts over the top into the corner. Across. Yuki might just control this one. Trying to kill a bit more time. If you're New York, time is on your side here. Looks to get it to KC. KC, just they're not on the same wavelength. You would have liked to see a shot there. Although Zyrek looks to make this out of reach. Instead, it sends it back the other one to counterattack. Can KC get a good touch? Gets off the backboard, but they're not out of it just yet. Yuki gets the beat over Oni, and Seattle will have to start from ground zero if they're going to want to get this to go. Oni tries to get a touch in. Senza on this one. Puts it mid. Aurora, can he get around it? He can't quite. Looks to put it corner. It'll touch the ground. And that'll be game 1 for the New York Knights. Besides that, you know, last minute, it's definitely been New York, you know, famous for their public transportation, but they've been in the driver's seat this whole time, right? So, you know, not much to break down there, right? Casey getting your 2 goals, probably your MVP of that game. 1480 Sal definitely stepping up to the moment. And Zyrek didn't do much. Frankly, didn't have to do much. And that's, I think, what you want out of a reliable third option. So you go into Forbidden Temple. Prescient taking care of that for me. Gonna see if this is gonna be a quick 2-0 lead for New York or if Seattle can wrestle this one back. And it's gonna be Yuki putting it in. Aurora looks to follow this quickly. Gets the fake in the Krabby Patty and just lets it roll in. SpongeBob would be proud. Have a little sun coming out in the chat. And, I mean, just a clean fake out of the guy. Maybe a ghost tip, maybe a rubber band, maybe, you know, a controller through a monitor. Say what you want, it's a 1-0 game. Just 4 seconds in. Does this start some sort of momentum for Seattle, or do New York pounce right back on this? Looks like they might own goal and make this 2-0, but instead Yuki will take it to the corner. Senza meets him there, gets the 50 out. Oni putting it corner. Goes under Zyrek. This could be a chance for Seattle if Oni can get it past 2. He gets it past both of them. And there's Oni making a splash with that goal explosion on the pitch. Just a great 1v2 play. Gets it over Yuki. Forces the 50 on the KC. And just like that, 19 seconds in, Seattle already doubling their goal count from game 1. I don't even know what's going on in the chat, but we're just going to ignore that. As Oni looks to ignore the defense. Off wide. I think that was Don Quavius. Higglebottom gets in the way of that one. Yuki looks to put it through. It does. And a bang-bang play out of Don Quavius Higglebottom into Yuki. And a rapid, high-power offense out of both teams here. Just 34 seconds, 3 goals. We only had 3 goals all of the last game, and that was 5 minutes. Looks like this could be a bit of a barn burner on Forbidden Temple. As Don Quavius Higglebottom gets the 50. Casey's there to match him. Tries to get the touch over the top. Oni gets it to Aurora. Aurora has some daylight here. He's got to get it past one. Low boost. Doesn't put it on net. I think a pickle wheel might have gone flat there. But other than that, it's still a 2-1 game just over a minute in. Aurora gets into the corner. Maybe tries to find a teammate middle. No one's ready for it except for Zyrek. Cuts it out. Yuki. Zyrek chasing this one down. Can he get the 50? It goes past one. Sends it maybe with an awkward touch. Tries to leave it for his teammates. A double commit. Is it double the goal, though? As Aurora clears it out of the way. Senza will play sweeper. As we approach the 1.5 minute mark of this game. Still 2-1. And Seattle, with a great start, can they hold on to that momentum, though? They've already let up 1. Do they let up 2? As Oni puts this central. KC tries to get the 50 to go his way. Doesn't quite go there, though. Yuki looks to improvise. Doesn't have the boost to do so, though, and Aurora will clear this one out. Does Oni go for the redirect? Likes to fake it for Aurora, who fakes it under KC. Reads it this time. As Yuki gets it over one, Zyrek looks to hellhound this one down the field. KC putting it off the corner. It's a bang out, but Zyrek should just field this cleanly. He does with full boost. Can he make some magic happen here? With the pre-jumping Yuki, they're just not on the same page. And Senza bangs it out. KC gets a touch to the side. Yuki over the top. Can KC put this one through? It's on target. And with what a start Seattle had, you thought they might have been in control, but New York back in what I would think the momentum here. 2-2 game, 242, a lot of twos on the board. Is that KC's second goal? No, it's not. That would have been too perfect, but he does have 2 saves, 2 shots. As Aurora has low boost, does he go for another fake? Gets him hit for his teammate, Senza. Yuki's there, but does Oni have cleanup? He gets beat outright. This could be dangerous if he gets a pinch mid here. Demo opens up the space. Aurora's able to clear it out. Zyrek gets a touch, tries to stay on this, gets the reset over one. Is anyone there to match him? Yuki for the net. It's just over. It's just wide. This could very easily be a 3-0 game, but otherwise we're still here tied. Zyrek looks to get a double off the wall. Aurora says no thank you, clears that one out. Casey off the backboard. Can Yuki get to this? Senza get in the way. He does. To keep this a 2-2 game with just 2 minutes left. Yuki cutting this one out. Zyrek putting it to the corner. Can Yuki get back to this one? He does. Back to Zyrek. A bit of a team play, a bang-bang play, but it's bang out of the zone. Yuki tries to bang this one back in. This could be dangerous. Oni on low boost. Although Oni, cool, calm, collected, stays third, is able to keep it in their favor. As all 3 New York players in that sort of bubble on the field, but it seems to not be punishable. Although Senza almost own goals, that would have been quite the punish for his own team. Instead, still tied. Zyrek putting it over the net. Senza tries to dribble this one out. He'll just take the 50 with his low boost. Yuki will look to corral this. Gets a bang downfield, maybe to KC. Puts it middle, no one quite there. Zyrek able to match the 50 to keep the pressure on. Zyrek stays on it once more. That's all he'll do, though. Aurora gets a feed from the other team. Can he get the flick over one? Yuki just extends out to make the save, but they're not out of trouble yet. Senza might have overdrifted this one, but he can still make it work. Gets around 1, not around 2. And this will be back on Seattle to regroup if he could get past Zyrek here, which he does. Gets it over 1, gets it over 2. Is there a teammate following this story? Is Aurora? Does he go for the double? Fakes it out. Just leaves it for the shot. Is it enough pace on it? Casey says otherwise. And clears it out of the zone. What could have very easily been a goal if there was just a little bit more power on it, but I think no one was expecting it to slip through like that. Oni gets a 50 out to Senza. Senza looks to put on net. It's just off. And now, bit of a counterattack for New York. Yuki takes it up himself. 20 seconds left. He wants to call this game now. He wants to end in regulation. But Aurora says no. I think Seattle would be happy with an overtime here considering how game 1 went. But maybe they don't want to go there. A bit of a bang out. Oni gets a control touch. Can he get another one? He gets the reset. Gets a couple for his boost. But Zyrek will just bang this one down the field. And Aurora, maybe one last final breath. Could be dangerous, though. If this one stays up, it does. It's in the Seattle zone. Yuki with a pop mid. Senza quite isn't ready for it. It's a 50 down. Who's going to meet it first? As it's Oni. Gets the bounce, and now it's back the other way. Do we see a Justin 0-second miracle, or does this one touch the ground in game 2? Senza keeping it up. I would have elected otherwise with the amount of boost on this team. Aurora tries to get it down. He does get it down. 2-2, game 2. Big for both teams. New York looking to get a 2-0 lead. Seattle looking to tie this one up going into map 3. Oni off the wall. Can't quite get the double or over the top with the shot. And that is a 1-1 series. Well, you'd think Seattle might have lost it there after the start they had, considering they gave up 2 goals after their initial 2. But Aurora plays spoiler, makes this a 1-1 series. And I need a sip of water as we take a quick intermission here. My throat's dry, but my spirits are high that this could be a potential Game 5 series. Both teams look very evenly matched, being both the 6 and 7 aggregate seeds. You know, you can clip that out of context for the memes, but otherwise, these two very closely ranked teams playing closely ranked. Both 1-goal games, as I will ready up here and leave it to the others. New York taking their time rating up here, maybe typing in chat. I wouldn't focus on the chat. I'd focus on the fact that you just lost a game, too. Go to Caster, by the way. Appreciate that. I try my best for my second one here. And you could see Yuki and Casey having a lot of impact. Zyrek, with the name change, can't quite find as much success as his former lettering. As we enter game 3, big game 3, this decides who goes on match point. This decides who's fighting for their life in game 4. Game 3 is underway. Oni, gonna get boost, probably corral this one for a full field. He does, gets it past Casey, looking for the pre, gets it past 2. It's just Yuki as a last man Chell, puts it off to the side. Senza can cut this out, can't quite put on target. Casey should be able to meet him here, he does. Aurora goes for the shot on net, it's off the corner, off the other post. He hits both posts, but unfortunately that doesn't count for a goal. You would think that they'd be able to put that one away with their shooting earlier in this series, but they just quite weren't able to find the pieces to match it. Although Aurora looks to make himself another chance here. Can't quite get to it. And New York looks to regroup if Oni doesn't just dunk him out of a lack of respect. Although Aurora doesn't respect the bounce, gets beat under it. Senza puts it wide. Yuki's awkward here. Everyone's committing on this. Zyrek, the only one with the X-ray vision to clear this one out. Yuki off the ceiling. Senza gets past him, gets bumped for his troubles. Aurora goes for net. This should be a save. It is. Gets a 50. Yuki goes up, goes to beat Senza, touches it off to the side. Casey's there, gets beat by Aurora. Can the Krabby Patty munch his way down the field? Can't quite find it mid, although Senza looks to make it mid anyway. Looks to get another touch with the Merc. This will be a heavy goal! And heavy spirits for the New York Knights as they've let in another one after game 1. No one seemed to be ready for it. I heard a demo in the background. Could have opened up the space. And Senza able to bang that one home. 1-0 to the Seattle Sonics. And right now, they have all the momentum after winning that second game and getting the first goal of game 3. They look to put game 1 in as a mirage, if you will. Oni looks to dunk him, almost is able to, but Zyrek says otherwise, gets it out of the zone, gets the reset. Does he fake it low? Goes for the flip. Senza bumps his own teammate. This could be a bit awkward here. Could be a bit of a clash instead. Casey takes it in. Aurora touches it low, looks to regroup. Can Yuki get the 50? It's off to the side. Oni's going to have to make a tough read here. He does, but Yuki gets a demo opening up the space. Casey just taps it to Oni on the back wall, is able to get it past 2. Can Zyrek be that reliable third? Yes, he can. Putting it to the corner. KC looking to get it past 1. Aurora shuts it down. Waits for this boost, elects to tell Oni to go for it. Gets it past 1, not past 2. Zyrek there. Yuki getting it off the corner. Both New Yorkers in the corner here, but Oni steers clear of it, is able to get it down the field. Maybe a counterattack of his own. Casey can't quite make the read, but Yuki's able to. Aurora maybe putting this mid for a teammate. There's no teammate there. It's off the ceiling. A wide open shot for Oni. Does he bang it home? He does. Best believe it. And it's another 2-0 lead for Seattle. They had one just like this in game 2, and if the trends follow, they should close this one out. But we know that New York's never out of it. As Mamdani said, it's not a city that quits in the last point-something seconds with the Knicks. So watch for this New York team to make a comeback. They've almost completed the entire voyage in game 2. Couldn't get the overtime. Looking for a different result here. Oni down the field. Doesn't care about my casting. Doesn't care about a chance. He's looking to put this one to bed. Looking to make this game 3 out of reach. And that ball was out of reach for anyone except for Oni. Slots it on net. And a 3-0 lead with just under 3 minutes into this game. New York's going to need to stop the bleeding here if they don't want this to be a humiliation ritual. Touches it to KC. Could this be the start? No. Senza gets in the way. Casey off the backboard. Oni just collects. And New York will have to restart this possession unless Yuki gets a quick turnaround. Aurora is able to match him, though. And it looks like Seattle back on the offensive. They have been on the offensive this entire game, and it shows on the scoreboard. Casey gets it past 1. Zarek off the corner. Maybe for Casey for the net. Can't quite make the read. It's a fake for Yuki. Call it a fake. Call it a whiff. It's a goal no matter what. New York gives themselves a bit of an eye towards the finish, but it's going to take a lot more sprinting to get there. And if Seattle bleeds this clock, they look to win this game 3. Aurora gets it bouncing off the corner. Sends it, goes for the net. It's just around to the left in case he will corral this one. Yuki looks to tap it around Aura. He does get to it. Looks to put this mid for a teammate. Looks to maybe score it himself. Can't quite get there, although it's an awkward ball. Zyrek there. Seattle's collapsing just like their Oklahoma City Thunder team. What's going on? Yuki gets it past 1. Senza can't quite make the read. I think his teammates had a little faith in him that he'd be able to get a touch there, excuse me. And this game just got a lot more interesting. With 1:24 left, that's plenty of time for 1 goal. Oni looks to try to make it 2 goals forced. Who's there first? Yuki clears it off to the side. Yuki can't quite match the challenge on the ceiling. Aurora keeps it in. Casey maybe looks for a shot on net here. Takes it from his teammate. Both low boosts. Zyrek looks to corral and reset. Does he get pre-jumped? No one likes to put a hand up. Although, maybe they don't have to put a hand up as he misses this one. Yuki takes it off his teammate's head like the Dodgers in the World Series. Says, I got this one. Casey leaves it out over the top. Can't quite read this. It's awkward. Oni for the net. And Oni, with his 3rd goal of the game, the hat trick for your 15-25 Sal. Zyrek couldn't quite stop it. It's a little too much pepper on that shot. And 2 goals in 48 seconds. Is it achievable? Yes. Is it realistic for a Seattle team that's been on offense? I would say no, but Yuki looks to say different. Puts it to the corner. Instead, Aurora plays spoiler, takes it out. Over 1, not over Zyrek, though. Sends his awkward in net, just clears this one cleanly. Can Yuki get up to it? It's a bit of a double commit out of Seattle, but ends up working in their favor unless Zyrek can punish quickly off the ceiling. Maybe a waterfall bounce. Looks to score it himself. And 25 seconds left. We have another 1-goal game. Zyrek touches this one up to the top, and it's kind of just a bit of a who-touched-it situation. But it shows up as 3-4 on the score sheet, and that's where we'll play this one with 25 seconds to go. The kickoff looks to go in their favor. Casey can't quite get past the pre-jumping Oni. Reads it quite well, though they're not out of it just yet, as Zyrek puts it around 1. Casey with the shot. New York's got to go now. They got to go fast. They got to bang it down. Maybe a pass middle. Yuki doesn't quite have the boost. Puts it on net. Can he get it? It's off the post. And while this one's still up, unless OG Anunoby's able to tip this one in, it doesn't look like New York will be able to bounce it off the rim. Unless Casey can read this. He can't quite. Aurora putting it down the field. It does not bounce in their favor. And Seattle takes game number 3. Puts themselves on a match point. As we have the Sunj Bob in chat in New York, looking maybe to not ready up right away. Takes their time, maybe says a couple game plan fixes going into this next one. They're going to need something to change because while they've won the first game, they've lost the past 2. Seattle able to adapt quite easily to their play style. It seems as if New York has the better late game. They just need to hold on early. It seems Seattle likes to fire right out of the gate off those kickoffs. And New York have not quite figured it out yet. They need to go back to their roots, I think, and just kind of let the plays come to them. Maybe a bit too many forces coming out. Josek with the follow. Pop with the follow. Let's get underway here. Game 4. Do we see a game 5? Do we see Champions Field, or do Seattle put this one to bed? Casey looks to put it on net, though. Yuki up for the top. Can't quite get it to go. And Aurora will take this up. Can he get it past one? You betcha. Casey has to get the save. Yuki looks like it's going to be a pass out of the zone. Can only quite read this. No, it's under him. Yuki didn't have the boost, but it ends up working in his favor anyway. Aurora sweeps it out. Delicious rebound for delicious vehicle. Trickles out to Zyrek, who's going to be able to take this one out unless Oni pre-jumps him. Can't quite get the touch. Senza's going to be next man up here, although Zyrek gets it past both of them. Looks for the shot on net. The demo opens up the space off the bar and down. Lethal shooting. And maybe they heard what I was talking about, because now New York is the one with a goal off the rip. Just 38 seconds in. Yuki placing that one. Bar down. Couldn't quite place it better. Credit Don Quavius Higglebottom with the assist. And Casey with the demo. It's a team play for the city of brotherly love. Maybe a pre-jump play, a little bit too bold. KC looks to get another goal here. Yuki putting it off the corner. Aurora gets demoed. I can't see anything, but Zyra can see an opportunity open up. Might just leave it for his teammate. Goes for the fake. Senza reads it. And while I have the all-casting camera that can see everything, he doesn't, so that just makes that read that much more impressive. Bit of a pinch out of the zone. Is it impromptu? I don't know. Is Aurora going for net? I don't know. As Zyrek steers that one away. Oni gets the touch to the corner. Aurora gets the touch across. Does Oni read this, or does Casey? Oni gets the better of him this time. Looks to get a 50. Can Casey get a bump here? Some kind of force. Doesn't quite happen. Zyrek might just go for net here off the bump. Can anyone get back to this? Aurora maybe with a bit of a whiff. Maybe Senza can't quite get the read. Whatever it is, it's a 2-0 game. New York looking to force 5. Yeah, it just looked like Aurora might not have read the bounce. Maybe that Krabby Patty a little bit too heavy to get off the ground. Whatever it is, it's still a goal for New York as he shouts the car in the chat. Yuki tries to penetrate the zone, tries to get another one. It's a bit of a bang-bang play, but Zyrek is the one who ends up with it after all the exchange. Oni gets it past one, gets it over the top. And like the New York Stock Exchange, they're up, down, up, down. Oni shoots it down to 2-1 game. Just a clean reset over the top. Casey can't quite get there. And the other teammates not quite ready for such a solo play. Oni trying to wrestle his team back into this one, but it's going to take a lot more than one goal as Yuki tries to put this one into the zone. Oni gets over the top. Is it on net? I don't think so. Casey controls this one with just over 2 minutes elapsed in this one. Senza pops it, maybe for Oni. Oni does get the read. It's a bit of a passing play, although Zyrek gets it past one, leaves it for his teammate. It's a shot on net. Bit of a double commit, but it ends up working out. Unless Casey puts this one on net out quickly, fakes it. And Senza will clear. Oni pre-jumping off the ceiling. hits the corner. Casey is the only one able to have the scripture to read that bounce, as Yuki bouncing it in. Casey maybe a little past to Zyrek, maybe a little bit of a play, can't quite get the double. I believe that was Oni that was able to clear that one out. Yuki looks to clear it back in. Zyrek gets an awkward touch to the corner. Aurora having no boost, looks to just play out a 50 here, and Senza might look for a chance. Yuki dunks him. Oni gets it over 1. Can he get it over 2 with the reset? It's a bit of an awkward glitch there. Senza plays it under. Aurora gets it past 1, gets it past 2. Get the triple tap. Gets it on the goal line. Oni's good to go. Call it a stock market crash. Starting off 2-0. It's now 0-2, and now it's a 2-2 game. In the stat sheet, credit Oni for 2, Yuki and Don Cuevas Higglebottom with the others. Oni tries to wrestle his team back into it. Can he carry them to a victory? You can't carry a mistake that big. Yowza, what was that? I'm going to need a replay here as I was reaching for my water bottle. Oni with a pass to Aurora. Just not a great... You'd want to listen in there to hear the comms, but it just looked like maybe that wasn't the touch Oni intended to get. And New York's able to capitalize. Can they capitalize again? No, Aurora shuts that one down. KC sends his low boost here. This could be awkward. This could be dangerous. Oni bails his teammate out, but not for long as it's still in the corner. Zyrek puts it over 1, but Aurora is able to meet him there. Does he do this for Oni or does he take it himself? So Alexa taking it himself. Now goes to Oni. Gets it past 1. Zyrek's there, but Casey spawned off the demo. Not a great bang in, and Senza shows him why. Goes for the shot, maybe a little bit out of his reach. Zyrek for net. Steered clear. Routine save. Yuki can't quite make the read. Zyrek puts it for Yuki. Oni out, but this could be a leak out for KC. It is. This one looks done and dusted to go to Champs Field. Does Seattle think otherwise? It just looks like the team play is coming out of New York. They have no answer for them. How could a city without a basketball team be ready for a team play? You wonder. And you wonder what the comms are like. Are they shot? Are they silent? Can Oni put this one on net? It's off the post. To make matters worse, you could have had a 3-4 game. You could have had a chance. But instead, the Iron said otherwise. And Don Cuevas Higglebottom, there's his shout. There's his redirect. And unless I see a miracle, it looks like a Champs Field game. And with two teams this closely matched, is there anything better you could ask for? Do you dare ask for a Game 5 overtime after this one's done and dusted? Or are we too greedy? As Zyrek clears this one out, just 30 seconds left. And you might as well roll the credits as this one looks to be done and dusted. As Yuki gets it around 1, nasty fake. And New York has been in control of this entire game. I said it before, if they can close out those first 2 minutes, being tied or even better with a lead, their late game has been unmatched in this series in Seattle. Needs to figure something out as the clock ticks down. Oni maybe one for the road. Can't quite get it. Senza looks for a consolation goal, but it won't matter unless it's a money puck. It counts for 3. We're going to Champs Field once this one touches down. Oni looks to do just that. Maybe a bit of an own goal for the fans. Decides to just put it to the corner. Let this one drop. Game 5, ladies and gents. Strap in. We're going to have a banger Game 5, Champs Field. Oni unable to find the hat trick, unable to carry his team across the line, and with New York, just a team effort throughout. 2 team members dropping 550. Aurora says he understands it now. Well, you can't understand it later because we're going into Champs Field here, and there's got to be some sort of adjustment, or else this one's going to be a New York victory. With Oni, the last one already up, maybe giving his team a pep talk as the franchise owner, maybe threatening them by selling the team if they don't win this one. Whatever empty threats, whatever promises need to be made to scare this team straight, it's going to have to happen as we head to Champs Field with all the banners up there. You know, this isn't a world championship. It's about as much as you can ask for. We have game 5 overtime. Which team takes it as we get underway? Senza putting it in. Zyrek looks to just clear this one. Maybe plays it a bit slow. Aurora gets a demo. Can't quite find the second. Senza with a shot. It's off. Oni looks to corral this one, though. Looks to keep the pressure. Yuki puts it past. Is it on target? Senza steers it clear in case it was. I don't believe it was, but he gets it wide anyway. Oni gets it only as far as Yuki will let him as he bangs it back in. Looking maybe for a Zen touch, maybe a bump, maybe a fake. Does land the bump. Who's there? Aurora's there as he bangs into the zone. It's just banging back and forth. No team willing to let a mistake happen. Don't want to get down early in a game 5, that's for sure. As Zyrek puts this one to the corner. Sends up mid, maybe for Oni. Yuki meets him there. Doesn't beat him there, though, and it's a 50 that trickles out to Aurora. Can he get a second touch on this? You betcha! Board down and in! And the Krabby Patty will be with a delicious goal off the rebound. Gets the beat over KC. Wasn't ready for it. Gets the double off the bar. And it's that Seattle early game that looks to show flashes of life here in Game 5. Can New York match them? Aspect with the follow 3 minutes ago. Appreciated. Pinching it through. Onyx bangs it out. Yuki off the wall. Senza maybe goes for a shot here. Casey, this time he's ready, though. Doesn't want to let up a mistake quite like last time as Aurora touches it to Senza. Maybe not on the same page as he turns away from that one. Casey low boost. Yuki low boost. Zyra keeps it in. Wow, what a pass. Beautiful feed through. Don Cuevas Higglebottom finds the lane. KC just has to tap it in, and he does just that. A 1-1 game. Am I too greedy as a caster to ask for OT? Let's find out if these two teams make it there as Oni gets us underway. Shot under. It's not quite on net, although it does force Yuki to make a play. Maybe 2 plays as he gets it off the ceiling here. Who's going to be there first? It looks to be a bouncing ball, an awkward ball. Oni gets it wide. Aurora, although it's back in the zone. Can Yuki finish off the double? Off the bar! And with a little help from Senza, New York right back in the lead. Honestly, I thought this one was going straight in, but a little help from Senza never hurt New York, that's for sure. And you have a 2-1 game. Can Seattle answer now? You thought after that first goal they might run away with this one, but New York matches them and does one better. We have a 2-1 game. Gets it past Zyrek, but Casey's there to compensate. Aurora over 1. Can he get the reset? Can he get it around them? Yuki, it's off the post. Oni with the shot. You betcha. We got another tie game. And with 2 minutes elapsed, 2-2. Aurora having big contributions on both of these goals, directly leading to 1 and giving the layup to Oni for the other. What a game. I've been saying it. I want that overtime. Will they let me have it? Yuki looks to finish this one in regulation as he takes it over 1. Can he quite find the 50? No, he can't. Although Zyrek is there. Senza banging it out. Oni gets the redirect. Who reads it? Yuki reads it. Senza off the backboard. Almost own goals, but he steers it clear. Aurora has to stretch out for that one on low boost. Senza putting it to the back. Off the ceiling. Who's going to be there? Zyrek's there first, but Aurora seems more than happy to just take a touch. Maybe not the greatest touch. Oni looks to get one better. Takes it up. Can Casey read this? Oni gets it past 1, and the demo by Aurora. He's been everywhere this game. Back and forth, these leads are traded, but when it's done and dusted, Seattle are now up by 1. Another bar bounce that favors Seattle. And with just under half of this game remaining, do New York have another one in them? Maybe it's off the kickoff. It is off the kickoff. Back and forth, these teams. No lead is safe is what has been shown here. Casey gets it through. Aurora sends a turning up field. No one quite ready for it. And Azin not going to be happy with that one, as he should be reacting any second now. There he goes. Bro, off the kickoff. Zarek might give him something else to frown about if he could get it past Aurora, but can't quite get it there. KC waits for this boost. It does fortunately spawn for him. with those boost timers, able to see where it's at. What is going on here? Yuki calms it down, takes it around, only as far as Oni will let him. Overhead, the pinch goes. Senza can't quite get over there with the boost he was allotted. Oni gets it, looks to get a 50, excuse me, doesn't quite get it. Senza with the dunk, can Oni dunk Zyrek. He cannot, but they're not out of the woods just yet as Aurora puts it on net. KC, Senza might just bang this one back in and keep the pressure on. And some sustained pressure for Seattle usually leads to a goal. Let's see if that trend follows here as Yuki takes it wide. KC should be able to get this one out. Should be able to get it to a teammate. Full boost. Oni cuts it out. Says enough of the freestyling. I want my win. Aurora off the bounce. Yuki to the corner. Can he get two? No, he can't. It's a demo. Just over a minute left. Oni looks to find one. Casey plays the high. Gets rewarded with a 50. Yuki bouncing it in with the pinch. Oni quite ready for it. Oni gets bumped off, but not before he gets past one. Casey, Yuki for the net. Yuki can't quite get the doubles. He's bumped off, but Senza can't quite read it, but it doesn't matter. Aurora's there anyway. Looks to get a 50 here. He does, although it's bouncing back towards his net. Senza's awkward as could be. Yuki finishes it off. 4-3 with 43. What's going to happen? Yuki seems to be sure that he can bring this one home. Two players on New York looking for a hat trick, but as long as they can survive these 43 seconds, they won't need one. Off the corner, Zyrek looks to field this one cleanly. Doesn't get the greatest touch. Senza does match his 50. Aurora, maybe a back pass. Gets it past Yuki. Gets it past two. Who's going to be here? Aurora. It's Aurora again. A demo opens up the space. Sends out of the smoke screen. Able to get the saving touch. 20 seconds left. Seattle's going to need a miracle here. Senza goes for the miracle. Can he get it on net? It's in! It's in! 18 seconds left. Another tie game. No lead is safe. Do I get rewarded with a Game 5 overtime? New York's been lethal off the kickoff. Can they recreate their success here as Casey puts it to the wall, looks for a double. It's off the backboard. Senza can't make the read. It's Zyrek for the net. Oni, cool calm collected in the net. It's over the top. Can Senza finish it? It's Oni there with the shot off the bar. Off the bar. Aurora over the top. Can anyone get there? And New York looks to be happy to ground this, and I am rewarded with a Game 5 overtime. Who will be the hero? Yuki looks to be the hero. He only has one to beat. He gets the 50. He can't quite get there. And while it's a short one, it doesn't matter on the score sheet. New York ices up in Game 5 and takes it 5-4. Everyone leaving the game. A little GG's for the chat. Ladies and gents, that's all I have for you today. What a game. What a game. You thought that they might have had it late, leads back and forth, but eventually New York breaks through just enough. And I'm going to do my due diligence here as caster to save these replays, but that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for stopping in. I think this was a little bit better viewership-wise than my last cast. Hopefully, I was able to make it just a little bit better. This is Lil Day, second ever cast with MLCS, signing off. Good night. Take it easy.